Hi, if you want to watch exclusive content with hot girls that you won't watch on YouTube, namely where Naruto roasts Kushina and Mikoto and many other hot girls without restrictions, then visit my Boosty channel at the link in the description. Konoha was attacked by Kyuubi. The half-destroyed village was in chaos. All the inhabitants tried to save themselves, and the ninja themselves, led by the 4th Hokage, went to fight. Many people died that day, and Kyuubi was sealed in a boy who was recently born. Several years later. Brother, will you show us the new technique? Naruto asked. When I return from the mission, but for now, practice what I taught you, especially you Sasuke. Having said this, Itachi ran off to the mission. Brother always goes on missions, and doesn't even train us, Sasuke said and puffed out his cheeks. Sasuke, maybe we should go practice that technique, Naruto suggested. Went. Sasuke and Naruto went to the lake. After 15 minutes they got there. Okay Sasuke, you first. Naruto stepped aside. Sasuke walked onto the bridge and began performing hand seals. Katon Fireball. Sasuke shouted and a ball of fire flew out of his mouth. Okay Sasuke, now it's my turn, Naruto said and went out onto the bridge. Naruto started to make seals. Katon Fireball. Naruto shouted and blew a huge ball out of his mouth that almost evaporated the lake. Wow brother, how did you do that? Sasuke shouted in surprise. You see, when my brother was showing. Naruto couldn't finish because he was interrupted. What was that? Explain yourself. The gray-haired Anbu member shouted. I don't have to explain it to you, Naruto grumbled. Don't be so arrogant. Anbu attacked Naruto with a kunai in the front. Only fools are recruited into the ANBU. Naruto muttered and grabbed the ANBU by the hand, after which he threw him over himself. The Anbu fell to the ground and disappeared into the cloud. So you're not that stupid, but you can't beat me, Naruto said and kicked back with his heel, hitting the ANBU mask. Did you know? Yeah, from the very beginning. Do you mind if I check something? Naruto said and the Sharingan with one Tomo appeared in his eyes. Your Sharingan awakened at such a young age? Brother, you got it before Itachi, Sasuke admired. You have to fight against the Sharingan with the Sharingan too. The ANBU guy lifted Konoha's forehead protector. Oh, so it's you, well, let's check, Naruto said, remembering about this ANBU and began to wait for his attack. The ANBU man began to form seals and a water dragon emerged from the water. Naruto copied all of this with his Sharingan, and a water dragon began to appear from the air. He made a water dragon without even being near water, interesting. Okay, time to finish, Million Eyes. Naruto shouted and the battlefield completely changed. On the ground, water, trees, clothes everywhere there were Sharingans. What kind of technology is this? The slightly frightened ANBU soldier shouted. I came up with this technique while I was walking to the lake and I don't even know if it will kill you or not, Naruto said and smiled. This boy has a huge talent. Perhaps in the future he will become even stronger than Madara. Well, let's get started, great genjutsu. The next second, the ANBU guy fell to the ground and all eyes disappeared. Sasuke and Naruto approached the ANBU guy. Brother, did you kill him? Sasuke asked. We'll check now. Naruto checked his pulse. Killed? No, there is a pulse, but it's weak. Let's take him to the hospital. Naruto and Sasuke carried the ANBU member to the hospital and laid him down at the entrance. Sasuke, maybe we should go get something to eat, Naruto suggested and checked his wallet. Went. Sasuke, do you have money? Naruto asked. No. Sasuke was a little upset when he checked his wallet. Let's take some from him. Naruto found a wallet from an ANBU guy and took from there enough for 2 portions of noodles and left a note there. Naruto and Sasuke went to Ichiraku, and then went to rest on the heads of the Hokage. Naruto, how did you awaken your Sharingan? Sasuke asked. In the morning, when I woke up, I felt pain in my eyes and went to wash my face in the bathroom. After that I looked in the mirror and saw him there. But why didn't you tell Itachi about this? If he finds out, he will be too happy about it, and will teach us directly to me. And I don't want that. And as I understand it, you are going to hide this. Yes, until we graduate from the academy. I see, and what was in that note you put? It said, Don't tell anyone about my eyes, and we stole some money from you. PS we went to eat. If you tell about me, I'll leave the village. Is it true that you're leaving? Sasuke stared at Naruto. Yes, if they find out about me, they will start spreading rumors and the attitude towards me will worsen even more. Everyone already avoids me. Well, where are you going to go? Sorry, Sasuke, but I can't tell you that. Let me finish my conversation at the pond. Do you remember where I left off? You were talking about your brother and his equipment. Oh yes, exactly. In general, your fireball is missing one seal, which is why the ball turns out small. How did you understand this? You see, yesterday I couldn't sleep and decided to take a walk. There I saw two shinobi training, and seeing familiar seals I stopped and started to look. But I saw one seal that Itachi didn't show us, and I wanted to run to them to stop him. But I didn't have time and saw a perfect ball like Itachi's. What kind of seal is this? If I'm not mistaken, it's the seal of a sheep. Naruto showed this seal. Sasuke immediately began to form seals and blew a fireball out of his mouth. Well done, Sasuke. Even though he's not as big as me, you still have room to grow. Thanks, Naruto. Maybe we should go home? They went home. On the way home, Naruto received a few cold stares, but he had long since learned to ignore them, which could not be said about Sasuke, who felt uneasy from their stares. Upon arriving home, they went to the kitchen where Mikoto and Fugaku were sitting and eating dinner. Sit down at the table, you must be very tired after training all day, Mikoto said and served the brothers curry. Naruto and Sasuke started eating, while Mikoto and Fugaku went to their room. After a few minutes, Naruto began to hear whispers. Are you saying that you have decided to rebel against Konoha? Mikoto whispered. Yes, I thought about it for a long time and my choice cannot be changed. Fugaku answered in a whisper. Sasuke, did you hear that? Naruto muttered. Did you hear that? Don't worry about it. By the way, have you prepared for the exam? Yes, and my goal is to overtake you in points in it. Good goal, which means whoever gets 1 point less will lose. What? I'll show you now. Naruto turned over the recipe sheet on the refrigerator, showing the other side to Sasuke. What? 100 points. Why are you surprised? Isn't it the same for you? Naruto grinned. Is he smarter than me? It turns out yes, because my maximum record for points is 90, and his is 100. Yes, it's the same for me. Now I understand why you said about a lower score. Sasuke lied. Okay, Sasuke, I'll go to my room. Naruto went to his room. He lay down on the bed and began to think that if that Anbu told the Hokage everything, then he had to think about escape routes, and where he would go right now. Naruto lay on the bed until he fell asleep. A month has passed, and today was supposed to be an exam. Naruto woke up and went to wake up Sasuke. Sasuke, get up. Naruto shouted and threw a pillow at Sasuke. Why are you so angry? Sasuke muttered, yawning lazily. I'm just in a good mood and we have an exam today. I won't lose to you. Yeah, and I won't lose either. After 5 minutes they changed their clothes and went to the academy. When they entered they saw how everyone was nervous before the exam. Okay, Sasuke, let's check who's smarter. By the way, yesterday I thought if there's a draw then we both go to the Hokage and try to piss him off. Yes, but you will go there alone, because I will win. The exam has begun. All the future Genin started writing. 5 minutes later Naruto came to the board. Iruka-sensei, I'm done. Naruto mumbled and looked towards Sasuke. Yeah, well done, now make a clone. Naruto made a clone and was given a Konoha forehead protector. Naruto took the forehead protector and sat down. A minute later, Sasuke came out to Iruka with a piece of paper. Oh, and why are the Uchihas so smart? Make a clone. Iruka took the piece of paper from Sasuke. Sasuke made a clone and received the protector and sat next to Naruto. They both waited for the results. 5 minutes have passed. Naruto Uchiha 100 points, Sasuke Uchiha 100 points, said Iruka. Naruto and Sasuke left the office both upset. At the exit, a man they already knew was waiting for them. Well, hello Naruto, Sasuke, we haven't seen each other for a long time. Perhaps I'll introduce myself. I'm Kakashi Hatake and today I'm your teacher. Thank you for keeping the secret, but we have no time for you now, Naruto said and walked past Kakashi with Sasuke. And why are they like this? Maybe they wrote the exam poorly. Naruto and Sasuke went to the Hokage. Okay, Naruto, we have a draw, but how are we going to bring out the Hokage, since he is the embodiment of calm? I have a plan. You go paint the Hokage's faces, and I'll go to him and piss him off. Okay, let's get started. Naruto entered the office and activated the Sharingan and began to irritate the Hokage. While he was doing this, he simultaneously dodged the shinobi who were trying to pull Naruto out of the office. Then an ANBU in a rabbit mask flew into the office. Hokage-sama, the Hokage's faces are painted. Then the third one got up from the table and took off the Hokage cape, started running at Naruto. Naruto quickly realized that it was time to run and ran away as fast as he could. Sasuke saw that something flew out of the Hokage's residence at great speed and raised dust, and then he noticed that the Hokage was flying towards him and decided to run too, but was quickly caught. Naruto ran away from the Hokage for several seconds, after which he and Sasuke wiped the Hokage's faces. Phew, done. Naruto wiped the sweat off his face. Now can we be free, third? Sasuke asked. Yes, and so that this doesn't happen again. Okay, Sasuke, let's go home. Naruto and Sasuke went home. But as soon as Naruto and Sasuke entered the Uchiha quarter, they saw corpses and blood everywhere. Sasuke began to cry and did not understand who did this. Sasuke, it's not time to cry, our parents. Sasuke brought Naruto to his senses, and then ran home. At the entrance to the house, Naruto activated his Sharingan and began to slowly walk through the house. Sasuke also began to sneak into his parents' room. As soon as they entered, they saw their parents kneeling and Itachi standing in front of them with a katana. Brother, what's going on here? Naruto asked. I destroyed the Uchiha clan, Itachi said, and killed Mikoto, after which Fugaku. Sasuke's Sharingan awakened from what he saw and he immediately ran at Itachi. Naruto began to make seals. I could easily deal with Sasuke, but I want to run away from your eyes, said Itachi, looking at Naruto, and disappeared into the crows. Sasuke, be on guard. Naruto saw Sasuke fall and ran to him. Sasuke, how are you? If you want to take revenge on me, become even stronger than you are now. A voice came from the void. It's a shame you didn't run away. Naruto quickly threw a kunai at the wall and blood started pouring out of the wall. Naruto stood up and went to the wall, and hitting it with his hand, broke it, and not seeing Itachi there, he fell down without strength. Naruto woke up in the hospital where Sasuke was lying on the next bed. Naruto tried to get up, but then someone pinned him to the bed. Naruto, you can't get up yet, Kakashi muttered. What's wrong with my clan? You are the only one left among the survivors. Where is Itachi? I definitely should have killed him. No traces of Itachi were found. So that's how it is. Naruto mumbled and punched the wall, where a crack remained after the blow. Naruto, you need to rest after what happened. If I remember correctly, the team should consist of 4 people, and who else is on our team? Naruto asked, trying to distract himself. Sakura Haruno had to wait another hour to see her, Kakashi said, and took out a book. Did you choose your candidates yourself, or did the Hokage give orders? The Hokage lost a wish to me in one game, and my wish was to take the 3 genin who left the auditorium first. Are we some kind of things for you? Naruto, do you still use the Sharingan? Well, yes. I used it in such a way that no one would discover me. And you don't feel anything when you look forward? Kakashi asked. Well, everything is a little blurry ahead, but I think it's because I'm growing up. I thought so. Naruto tried to use the Sharingan less. Because of it you lose your sight. And this can't be fixed? It seems possible, but I don't know how. Kakashi looked at Naruto and got into a genjutsu. Naruto decided that he had to find out how to fix everything and went to the Uchiha quarter. When Naruto came to the main building where all the secrets of the Uchiha were supposed to be kept. Entering it, he used the Sharingan and began to examine everything, and among the shelves with books he saw a book that was without pages, and Naruto pulled it. The bookshelf that stood nearby began to move away, and behind it was a room with a single scroll. Naruto began to read this scroll. At first there were techniques, then Naruto found what he was looking for. Yes, this is it, the Uchiha eye treatment. Naruto started reading, and from there he learned that the only way to be cured was to transplant the eyes of another Uchiha into himself. Naruto took the scroll and went back to the hospital. Upon arrival there, he brought Kakashi out of the genjutsu and began to think where he could get the eyes from. While he was thinking, Kakashi went home, and a few minutes later, "Itachi!" Sasuke shouted, raising his hand. "Sasuke, calm down, we are not in any danger now." "Naruto, are we in the hospital?" "Yes, and I have big problems." "Problems?" "I'm slowly losing my sight when I use the Sharingan, and I found a way to cure it." "And what kind?" "I need the eyes of another Uchiha, will you help me?" "Do you want to take my eyes?" "I will transplant your eyes into myself, and I will transplant mine into you, that way we will both benefit." "But how will you transplant them to yourself?" "You won't be able to see them?" "I will be able to use one technique, thanks to which I will be able to see without eyes for several meters, but after 5 minutes I will fall unconscious. So we have to switch eyes in 5 minutes, and what will happen after you pass out? We will die from blood loss. I'll put this button on my stomach, and when I fall it will click and the doctors will come to us." "Okay, let's get started." Naruto put a button on his stomach and carefully wrapped it with a sheet. Naruto took painkillers out of the box and crushed it into powder, and began to pour it into Sasuke's fore, which knocked him out. Naruto went up to Sasuke and began to take out his eyes with his hands. Taking them out, he put them in water and began to make seals. Heightened senses. Naruto shouted, and closing his eyes, he could sense all objects around him. Naruto started to take out his eyes. Gritting his teeth, he managed to do it, and immediately placed them in Sasuke's eye sockets. Naruto did the same with Sasuke's eyes and placed them in himself. Naruto closed his eyes and began to fall unconscious. "But I was able to." Naruto passed out and fell on his stomach. The next day Naruto woke up with pain in his eyes. And he started trying to open them. Through severe pain he was able to open them. "Naruto, are you awake?" Kakashi asked as he approached Naruto. "What happened yesterday?" Naruto tried to find out what the doctors thought. According to the doctors, something started happening to Sasuke's eyes and you saw it, and ran to him and fell to the floor and lost consciousness. "That's probably why I don't remember anything." "Okay, in a week you will be released from court, and we will start doing tasks," Kakashi said and left the room. It's a week, so what should I do here? A week has passed. Sasuke and Naruto were discharged from the hospital and they went to the designated place where Kakashi was supposed to be waiting for them. Naruto and Sasuke reached the training ground where Kakashi and Sakura were standing. "Hello, Sasuke." Sakura smiled, not paying attention to Naruto. Sasuke simply nodded his head. "Tell us about yourself, what you like to do, etc." Kakashi asked. "Let's start with me. I, Haruno Sakura, love one boy, and I also love to read books. I am Sasuke Uchiha. I like spending time with Naruto. My goal is to destroy one person." "So, now you're Naruto." "I am Naruto Uchiha. My goal is to surpass Uchiha Madara. You don't need to know more." Kakashi nodded his head. "So I, Kakashi Hatake, have a lot of things I don't like and love." "Kakashi, let's finish getting to know each other. Let's get to training or something." "Okay, let's go find out what tasks the Hokage has." Kakashi mumbled and they went to the Hokage together. A year has passed. During this time, Team 7 completed several dozen tasks, and they came back to the Hokage. "Third, maybe it's enough to give us simple tasks. I want a task of at least S rank," Naruto demanded. "Are you crazy, Naruto?" Hiruzen shouted. "No, of course I know that S rank missions are given to elite shinobi, but I want to feel how easy it is to lose your life. Why are you so impatient to die? But I like this trait of your character, your task to guard the architect until he finishes building the bridge," Hiruzen mumbled while smoking. "Well, here's a more serious task. Okay, I'll go get ready," Naruto said and went home. A few minutes later, a tipsy old man entered the office. "And that these brats will guard me, the great architect Tazuna." Team 7 went home to pack their things for the trip. Meanwhile, Naruto managed to pack his backpack and Sasuke's. And he himself was already sitting near the main gate. And what took them so long?" Naruto muttered, sitting next to the guard post and petting the dog. After 5 minutes, Team 7 was assembled. So this is still a snot. Tsunade shouted, looking at Naruto. If you call me that again, you will coexist with the dead. Naruto threatened, looking at Tsunade with his Sharingan. Oh, come on, I was just joking, it's better not to anger him. Naruto, you don't have to threaten our employer. Kakashi asked. Okay, let's go already. Naruto said and ran forward. On the way, Naruto noticed a puddle, although it hadn't rained for a long time. Kakashi, did you notice? Naruto asked. Yes, be on your guard. The next second, Kakashi's body was cut open. Sasuke, Sakura, protect Tsunade. Naruto shouted and started using the Sharingan. Then 2 shinobi appear in front of Naruto. There are only brats here. Why don't you all get that you can't call me that? Naruto said threateningly, and in a second appeared behind the shinobi and killed one with a kunai and hit the other with his hand, so that he flew several meters away. Kakashi, he's yours! Kakashi ran out from behind the bushes and killed the shinobi. Naruto's strength sent shivers down Tsunade's spine. He is a human being at all? Tsunade asked in a quiet voice. Well, you're not God, but you should change your pants. Naruto noticed. Tsunade blushed but didn't want to say anything to Naruto. Okay, let's keep moving, Kakashi said, and they continued running. Team 7 passed by a small lake and Naruto sensed something was wrong. Everyone get down, quickly! Naruto lay down on the ground. A huge sword flew over the team's heads and, having stuck into a tree, a shinobi appeared on it. Oh, you're not as bad as I thought, but this is even more interesting. I'm Momochi Zabuza. Naruto, be careful with him, he is a very strong opponent. He is stronger than Itachi? Most likely not. Then why should I be careful? I'll kill him and let's move on. Don't be so confident in your strength, kid. Zabuza covered everything with fog. Naruto began using his Sharingan, and quickly found Zabuza and ran at him using Chidori. Zabuza dodged but was immediately hit by a hail of kunai. Well, that's the end for you. Naruto used Genjutsu by reflecting his eyes off the kunai. Zabuza froze in place, and several saban flew into his neck and an Anbu from his village immediately appeared next to him. Thank you for helping me catch him. I'll take him back to the village for trial, the Anbu said. You're welcome, let's move on, Kakashi said. And Bushnik, why didn't you start dismembering him? It's unlikely that he will be pardoned in his country, and I always wanted to see this spectacle. Naruto asked. Well, I don't want anyone to see this and my task is to deliver it to the village. Maybe you're not an Anbu at all, Naruto suggested and ran up to the Anbu guy and kicked him into a tree. Naruto, what are you doing with this stupidity against another country? Something tells me that Zabuza is alive and this is all not true, don't you think? Yes, this looks suspicious, Naruto. Let's change the plan. You take the 2 of them to our village to the Hokage, explain everything to him and continue to carry out this task. Okay, Kakashi, I completely rely on you. Naruto created a clone and they both carried the carcasses to Konoha. Team 7 continued on their way, and Naruto reached Konoha a few hours later. Along the way, the ANBU member and Zabuza woke up several times, but Naruto knocked them out right away. At the entrance to Konoha, Naruto stopped Kotetsu. Who are these and weren't you going on a mission? Kotetsu asked. There is no time to explain, I have to deliver them to the Hokage, Naruto said and ran forward. Naruto carried the bodies to the Hokage's office and waited for him to come. Naruto sat on the couch and waited there for 2 hours. Naruto, who is this? Hiruzen asked, entering the office. Momochi Zabuza and the fake ANBU member. How should this be understood? Naruto began to explain the reason why he suspected him. So that's how it is, Hawk, take these 2 to the interrogation room. Okay, third, I'll go back to the mission myself. Naruto went on a mission. Naruto got to the future bridge the next evening and heard the sounds of battle and ran towards the sound. In front of him was a picture of several hundred people fighting with his team. Naruto, you finally came, said Sakura. Oh, this is the one you kept saying. If you touch us, one person will come to you and kill everyone. So what can this snot do to us? Gato said and all his people started laughing. You made me angry, Naruto folded the seals. Katon Great Fire Destruction. Naruto shouted, Flames began to come out of his mouth that destroyed almost everyone. That's not all, Katan fire bullets. Naruto shouted and bullets of fire began to fly out of his mouth at high speed. After this attack only Gato remained alive. I'll be back. The fleeing Gato shouted. Naruto appeared in front of Gato with the Chidori in his hands and struck Gato. Sorry, I won't give you a chance to escape anymore, Naruto said and pulled his hand out of Gato. Naruto headed towards his team where everyone stood in shock and horror. Kakashi, I thought you could be left alone. There would be too many of them. Brother, you're cool as always. When did you manage to learn this technique? Sasuke asked, running up to Naruto. Yeah, I just found some free time, Naruto said and touched the scroll with his hand. A few days passed and the bridge was completed and named after Naruto. Everyone got back to Konoha and Naruto went home straight away. At home, Naruto sat down at the table to have dinner with Sasuke. Sasuke, I want to give you something. I don't need it anymore, but it will help you a lot. Naruto pulled a scroll out of his backpack and handed it to Sasuke. What is this scroll? Sasuke asked. Open it and you will find out. Okay, I'll go and sleep, I'm very tired. Naruto went to his room and went to bed. Naruto woke up and went to wake up Sasuke. Entering his room, he saw Sasuke reading a scroll. Sasuke, were you asleep at all? You have bags under your eyes. Naruto noticed as he approached Sasuke. I couldn't sleep, this scroll is too interesting. If you don't sleep it will affect your training and health. Naruto took the scroll from Sasuke. I know, why are you pestering me? Oh, okay, I'll go to the Hokage and find out if we have any tasks for today, and you sleep for now. Naruto went to the Hokage. Meanwhile, in the Hokage's office. Hiruzen, you have a capable person who can deliver this letter, Danzo muttered, holding out his hand with the letter. Why don't you just send a falcon with this letter? This is classified information and I'm afraid that the letter will fall into the wrong hands. Danzo left the office and 5 minutes later Naruto entered the office. Third Sama, do we have any tasks? Oh Naruto, I'm just waiting for you. Your task will be to deliver this letter to the address. My. Yes, you are the most capable and secretive, that's why I chose you. Can I take Sasuke with me? No. Hiruzen handed the letter to Naruto. I see. Naruto left the office and started looking at the address. It was written to deliver this letter to the country of stone. Naruto ran to deliver this letter. An hour later Naruto reached the Valley of Completion. Naruto stopped to look at 2 statues. Naruto was standing near the cliff and suddenly he hears the crack of a stick behind him and immediately gets hit on the head and falls off the cliff into the water. Several hours passed and Naruto woke up in an unfamiliar place. What, where am I? So you woke up, lie down for now, you lost too much blood, said the gray-haired old man. Who are you? Naruto asked and saw the old man's red eyes. I am Madara Uchiha, and who are you? But you died several centuries ago, how are you still alive? I use one technique that allows me to maintain life, so will you tell me your name? I am Naruto Uchiha, can you explain to me how I ended up here? I was standing fishing and then I saw that the water had turned the color of blood and looking against the current I saw your lifeless body floating. Taking you out of the water I checked your pulse and realizing that you were alive I took you to my home. Clear. And who did this to you? Madara asked, sitting down on a chair next to Naruto. I don't know myself, the last thing I remember was the crunch of a branch behind me and a blow to the head. So you haven't seen the face? How's the clan? It was cut out by my brother. I knew that this would happen someday, but for it to be destroyed by a member of the same clan, as I understand it, you were on a mission. Which Hokage is there already? Madara asked. Actually 4, but the 4th died during the attack of the 9-tailed beast, and now the 3rd rules. I see, unfortunately you will have to stay here for several weeks until you recover. What am I supposed to do here? Well, if you want I can train you. Training with someone I want to surpass sounds interesting. As I understand it, your goal is to surpass me, a good goal. Okay, rest today, and tomorrow we'll start training. Okay, thanks for saving me, Naruto said and fell asleep. Meanwhile in the Hokage's office. Danzo and the root of the ANBU entered the office. Hiruzen, you are accused of killing Uchiha Naruto, Danzo shouted. What are you saying? Several residents saw you hit Naruto and throw him into the river. At that moment, witnesses entered the office. Yes, it's him. Hiruzen sat in a stupor and didn't know what to do. Catch him, Danzo said, and Hiruzen grabbed the root of the ANBU. An hour later, on the roof of the Hokage's residence, people gathered in the square and Hiruzen's trial began. Sarutobi Hiruzen, you are accused of killing the village's weapon and by law you are sentenced to death. Konoha law states that anyone who kills a Konoha weapon will be sentenced to death. Do you have anything to say in your defense? The judge asked. I haven't left the office all this time. Who can confirm this? Hiruzen remembered that after Naruto left, no one came to see him anymore. I appealed to the residents of Konoha. Did you see how the third one walked around Konoha? If so, come up here. Kotetsu rose from the crowd. I saw Naruto leave the village first, and a few minutes later I saw Hiruzen leave too. There is enough evidence of Hiruzen Sarutobi's guilt. Bring him to trial. Hiruzen realized that he could die and decided to run. Hiruzen broke free from the root's hands and started running. Danzo ran after him, and after catching up with him, they started fighting. Hiruzen wanted to immobilize Danzo and with the help of the earth technique began to throw earth shurikens at his legs. Danzo dodged the shurikens and began to fold seals and used a vacuum ball, and taking out a shuriken used a vacuum blade on it. All the projectiles flew towards Hiruzen. Hiruzen was able to dodge the vacuum ball, but the shuriken was able to hit his leg, which prevented Hiruzen from moving it. Danzo, why did you set me up? Hiruzen asked, standing on one leg. Danzo ignored it. Hiruzen began to form seals and summoned Enma. Hiruzen, what happened? No time to explain, take me away from the village. Hiruzen shouted and jumped on Enma's back. Danzo started to make seals and root fighters appeared next to Enma and did not let him escape. Danzo used vacuum bullets and they flew at Hiruzen and hit him in the heart, hitting Enma as well, which made him disappear and Hiruzen's body fell to the ground. Root Anbu picked up Hiruzen's body and carried him back to the square. When the people saw Hiruzen's body, almost everyone started to cry, and the people who personally knew him asked themselves, well, such a kind person couldn't kill Naruto, even if he was the Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tailed. An hour later, the people went home and only two people were standing. It was Sasuke and Konohamaru. They lost someone very close to them today, and could not get over it. They stood there for a long time until Irika noticed them. Sasuke, go home, said Irika, and taking Konohamaru by the hand dragged him home. Some time passed and Sasuke also went home. Upon arriving home, he began to cry harder than when his clan was massacred. In the end, he fell asleep right on the threshold of the house. The next day Naruto woke up and went to look for Madara. Finding him, they started talking. Good morning, Madara. When will we start training? First I'll give you a test, and then I'll think about how to train you. What will the training be based on? We will go outside and I will start talking about the techniques that I know myself. If you know them, then immediately start making seals and show this technique. Oh, and I thought I would fight you today. Oh well, let's go. Naruto and Madara left the house and standing near the river, Madara began to list the techniques. After 5 minutes, Madara stood a little dumbfounded that there were almost no techniques that Naruto did not know. Madara realized that Naruto did not have the Manjikyu Sharingan, and because of this he did not know how to use Susanoo. He also did not know how to use wood techniques. Naruto, I am pleasantly surprised and I understand in what direction we will work. And in which one? Naruto asked, out of breath. First, I need to awaken your Manjikyu Sharingan, then I'll teach you how to use Susanoo, and then we'll fight each other. Manjikyu Sharingan? So you don't know, this is the power of the eyes. The owner of these eyes is several hundred times stronger than the usual owner of the Sharingan. Also you will have an ability that only you will be able to use, said Madara. I can't wait to know what my ability is. How can I get it? You have to kill your friend or you have to see the death of a loved one, so which option do you choose? From Madara's words, Naruto fell into a stupor. He didn't want to choose either option 1 or 2. Is there any other way to get it? I don't know if this will work or not, but I'll try, said Madara, and in a second he appeared next to Naruto, and their eyes crossed. Madara put him in Genjutsu, and started showing him the death of his clan. A minute later Naruto fell to the ground, During this time he saw about 100 times how his clan destroyed Itachi. Madara approached Naruto's body and opened his eyes, saw that the pattern of his eyes had changed and realized that everything worked out, carried him back home. Meanwhile in Konoha, Danzo became the 5th Hokage, and the first thing he saw on the previous Hokage's desk was that he was going to hold the Chunin exam and had to send out invitation letters. Sasuke was sitting on the bridge near the lake and was sad. Soon Kakashi noticed him. "Hey Sasuke, do you want to train? I'm not in the mood and Naruto always trained me. Maybe we should at least go and eat. I have no appetite, maybe you should leave me alone already." "Okay, and I wanted to teach you my technique," Kakashi said and folded the seals and showed Sasuke the Chidori. "Interesting technology, but how powerful is it?" Kakashi hit the tree with his Chidori, and it left a huge hole and then cracks appeared. "Well, in principle, you can study it, but I doubt I'll use it if I can do it," Sasuke said, and folding the seal, a fire bird in the shape of a phoenix flew out of his mouth. Having hit the tree, the phoenix punched a hole in it and continued to fly further. A second later, the tree burst into flames like fluff and began to burn very quickly, and Sasuke, having folded the seal again, began to control the phoenix and launched it into the sky. The phoenix, having reached the clouds, exploded. "How do you know this technique?" "Naruto taught me this technique, even though my phoenix is not as strong as his. With a teacher like that, I won't even be able to teach you anything," Kakashi said, and sadness appeared in his eyes. "Well, I still want to know how to use your technique." Kakashi was delighted and began teaching Sasuke how to use Chidori. Hokage's office. "Did you call Danzo?" asked a boy of about 10 years old. "Yes, your task will be to join Team 7 and keep an eye on Sasuke Uchiha. Also your name will be Sai, now you can go," said Danzo, and Sai left the office. "So now I should prepare everything for the Chunin exam and the documents to join Team 7. Danzo started sorting through the papers. Madara Uchiha's house. Naruto opened his eyes and tears started flowing out of them. "Madara, why did you show me this?" "To awaken your Manjikyu Sharingan, activate the Sharingan and look in the mirror." Naruto got up from the bed and walked to the mirror. Naruto activated his Sharingan and saw that his eyes had changed. His normal Sharingan had turned into a 6-pointed black star. "So this is the Manjikyu Sharingan, okay, let's start training," Naruto said and left the house. "Apparently he is not angry at me for the genjutsu," Madara thought and followed Naruto. Madara began to teach Naruto how to summon Susanoo, and after an hour Naruto managed to summon Susanoo. "Well done, Naruto, now let's start to reveal your personal eye ability," said Madara. Madara began to find out what ability Naruto had, and after 15 minutes he came to a conclusion. "Naruto, you don't have any abilities." "What?" "I don't understand it myself, but it's a fact." Madara went home. "So I got the Manjikyu Sharingan just for the sake of Susanoo, I can't accept that." Naruto started trying to use the eye's ability again. Naruto trained until night and was about to give up, but he got the idea to try using one-eye technique that he saw in the scroll. "Okay, this is the last hope, Amaterasu." It burst from his mouth, and in the place where he was looking, a black fire appeared. "Yes, I did it, and now how to remove it? Okay, wait and rain," Naruto said, folding the seals, after which it poured heavy rain, but the black fire continued to burn and began to spread to the forest. "Yes, why aren't you going out? Wait on water punch," Naruto shouted, and waving his hand, a fist of water flew from his hand, but the water fist also began to burn. "Looks like I'm in serious trouble, Madara," Naruto shouted. A minute later, Madara approached Naruto. "What are you shouting about? Let's go home quickly." "Stop. What's this?" Madara noticed the black fire. "Well, you see, I tried to use at least something, and in the end I remembered this Amaterasu technique, and the place where I was looking started to burn. I tried to put it out, but it didn't go out." "Bubana, use that technique again." Madara hit Naruto on the back of the head. "Amaterasu," Naruto shouted, and the black fire disappeared. "At first you will remove this fire using Amaterasu again, until you understand how to remove it at will. As I understand it, you called for rain?" "Yes, why does it bother you?" "Yes, because of it you will have to dry your clothes, so try using Amaterasu on rain clouds." "Amaterasu," The next second, steam began to appear near the clouds, which soon descended lower and covered the entire forest with fog. Enough cleaning. Naruto tried to remove Amaterasu at will and he succeeded. Naruto, usually when people use Amaterasu their eyes bleed. What's wrong with yours? Probably because they are my brother. So you have an eternal Manjikyu Sharingan. Eternal? Eternal means that you won't have to wait for your eyes to recover after using the techniques. Okay, let's go home already. Naruto mumbled and they went home together. Naruto and Madara had dinner and went to bed. Naruto, wake up, stop sleeping, said Madara, pushing Naruto in different directions. Why so early? What time is it? It's 12 noon, come on, get up, eat and let's go to training, Madara said and headed for the exit. Naruto got up from the couch and saw fried eggs on the table, started eating them. 5 minutes later Naruto went outside and a kunai started flying towards him. Naruto intercepted the kunai with his hand and threw it towards the bushes. Madara jumped out of the bushes. Good job, Naruto, but to defeat me you need more effort. Okay, then I'll give it my all, Naruto said and activated his Sharingan. Naruto summoned 2 clones and they went into battle, and Naruto himself began to form seals. One clone attacked with taijutsu, and the other with ninjutsu. Madara managed to block the taijutsu attacks, but the second clone began to form seals and Madara did not have time to understand what the other clone was forming. Suiton water bullets, Katon fire bullets, Katon thousand phoenixes. The clones spoke and used these techniques. All these techniques flew at Madara. He was able to dodge the bullets, and as soon as he began to dodge the phoenixes, the clone folded the seals and all the phoenixes began to turn around and continue the attack, but this time they became unpredictable. At the same time, another clone almost understood how Madara was dodging and began to lightly touch Madara. At this time, Naruto himself folded all the seals. Combined technique, life subjugation, said Naruto. Here Madara began to notice that it became more difficult for him to jump off the ground and also noticed that the trees began to move and go to the battlefield, and the next second something grabbed his leg. Madara looked at his leg and saw that a hand from the water grabbed him and began to lift him very quickly above the ground, and as a result Madara flew above the ground by 20 meters. Madara began to fold seals. Great fire destruction. Madara shouted and the entire battlefield was covered in fire. But then he noticed that the river where he lived began to rise water and it, heading for the fire, extinguished it. Madara was again grabbed by 2 hands from the water and dragged down. Madara went under the water with his head and was grabbed by hands from the ground and did not allow him to move. While Madara was thinking how to escape, he saw Naruto with a calm soul standing under a dome of the element of air and folding seals. Madara activated the Sharingan and with the help of Amaterasu was able to get out, but then he heard how it began to rain from above and the next second lightning struck the water. Naruto began to remove the water because he thought that he had already won, and when the water was completely removed, he saw a leg from Susanoo flying towards him. Naruto was unable to dodge and flew to the side. And I forgot about this technique, Doton Earth Pillow, Naruto said, folding the seals, and the earth appeared behind him, stopping him. Immediately from this land appeared a Susanoo with 2 katanas on his belt. Naruto took out the katanas and covered them with Amaterasu and began to attack Madara. Madara stood in a stance and began to expect a blow. Naruto began to strike, but almost all of his blows were blocked. But Naruto was still able to destroy the hand from the Susanoo that Madara had. Naruto jumped back and began to fold the seals, which Madara began to repeat, copying Naruto's technique. Naruto folded the seals and his Susanoo disappeared, along with Madara's Susanoo. Naruto immediately disappeared from Madara's sight, and appeared near Madara and began to strike. Almost every blow Naruto hit the target because he received the knowledge of the clone who was fighting. Then Naruto abruptly squatted and used a technique that he copied from Mach Lee. Naruto hit Madara in the chin and he flew up. Frontal Lotus. Naruto shouted and appeared behind Madara. Grabbed him and they began to fall down. But because Naruto's head was at Madara's level, Madara took advantage of this and hit Naruto with his head, causing him to stop using Front Lotus. Okay, my turn, said Madara, and in a second he found himself next to Naruto and hit him in the stomach. Naruto coughed up blood, but was immediately hit in the back of the head with an elbow and immediately after with a knee to the forehead. Madara jumped back and began to look at Naruto. "I can still fight," Naruto mumbled, with Madara's image tripling in his eyes. "Well then, you can continue." Madara grinned and folded the seals and used a fireball. Dash. "I won't be able to dodge, I'll have to reflect the blow, swayed on water shield." Naruto muttered and began to fold the seals. The ball evaporated before reaching Naruto, and behind it was Madara, who immediately hit Naruto. Naruto flew back a few meters and crashed into the ground. Madara ran up to Naruto and started talking. "Naruto, maybe that's enough for today, we don't want to kill each other." "Okay, but I have one question, when did you manage to summon 2 clones?" Naruto asked and rolled over onto his back lying on the ground. "I didn't use a single clone in this fight," Madara said in bewilderment. "Well, I can see that you're lying, they're standing right next to you right now." Naruto lost consciousness. Madara looked around and did not see a single clone. "But there are no clones here." Madara noticed, but realized that Naruto was already asleep, picked him up and dragged him back home. After 5 hours, Naruto woke up. "Oh, I see that you woke up, how come nothing hurts, there are no more clones?" Madara asked. "There aren't any more of them, and for an old man you move quite well. So it turns out that you were giving in to me from the very beginning of the fight?" Naruto asked. "I assessed your strength and in the end showed what the difference is between us. But I admit that technique, what's it called? And yes, subordination to life, it was really difficult to cope with it." "And it turns out you didn't know her?" "No, now I myself have become interested in how you recognized her?" "I was on a mission, and we stopped in some ruined house. Well, I decided to rummage around there in search of food and found a diary there, of a certain Kuroji Ho. I took this diary and began to read it, and in the end I realized that he was a researcher and wanted to make a technique that would be beyond understanding, and at the end of the book it was written. I was able to complete this technique, but I will need to test it again. Perhaps it was this technique that killed him because even I have a hard time handling it. Kuroji Ho, so I don't even remember him, although wait. I think I remembered, he was a genin from the land of trees, he seemed to be a B-rank apostate. A renegade of the lowest rank was able to come up with such a powerful technique. Naruto, listen, do you still have that diary? No, I destroyed this diary as soon as I learned this technique. Oh, that's sad, but I wanted to replenish my arsenal. Naruto, I was thinking, tomorrow you can return to Konoha, and now Naruto, wouldn't you like to see all my fights with your own eyes? Genjutsu again? Naruto asked and saw a nod. Okay, let's see. Madara activated the Sharingan and put Naruto in Genjutsu. Madara began to show all his fights so that Naruto could watch from a first-person perspective. This way, Naruto's brain could understand which attacks he could easily deflect and which ones he needed to avoid. An hour later, Naruto's session ended and he came out of the Genjutsu. Madara immediately decided to punch Naruto, but he caught the fist and pushed Madara back and then forward, which hurt Madara's shoulder. Oh Madara, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, did it hurt a lot? It's okay, it will hurt but it will stop. Phew, so let's have dinner and go to bed, and today I'll cook myself. Naruto went to the kitchen. Naruto put on an apron and started preparing ingredients for baked pollock. After 40 minutes, Naruto brought out 2 plates with baked pollock and they started eating. After dinner, Madara thanked Naruto and went to his room. Naruto washed the dishes and went to bed too. Naruto woke up and went to Madara's room. He was still sleeping. Naruto decided to leave a note that he was leaving. When he finished writing the note, he went back to Konoha. An hour later, Naruto approached the gates of Konoha, but then the guards attacked him. Naruto jumped back. Izumo, Kotetsu, what are you doing? Naruto asked. Answer me, who are you? Kotetsu said. Yes, what's wrong with you? I'm Uchiha Naruto. Yes, of course, that's why we believed you, said Izumo. Uchiha Naruto died a few days ago, said Kotetsu. But then who am I? Naruto asked. We'll find out now, Izumo said and ran towards Naruto with a kunai in his hand. Naruto jumped up and hit Izumo's hand, knocking the kunai out of his hands. Kotetsu jumped on Naruto. Naruto threw Kotetsu over his back. Kotetsu, Izumo, it's me Naruto, believe me, said Naruto. If it's you, then put the seals on and remove the transformation technique from yourself, Izumo said, jumping away from Naruto. Naruto made a seal. Well, I think I took it off, said Naruto. Naruto, is that really you? Kotetsu asked. Well, yeah, said Naruto. Okay, if it's you, answer one question. What did you do before going to the country where you had to protect the architect? Izumo asked. So give me a second. Oh yeah, I remembered. I was sitting next to the guard post and petting the dog. And by the way, where is she? Naruto asked. She died yesterday from illness, said Kotetsu. Naruto, it's you, but where have you been? Izumo asked, running up to Naruto and hugging him. Long story, what even happened here? Why am I considered dead? Naruto asked and pushed Izumo back. According to witnesses, they saw you hit on the back of the head with a rock by the Hokage, after which he threw you off the cliff, said Kotetsu. What Hokage? But. Naruto tried to say something, but couldn't. Yes, and for this he was punished under the article, said Izumo. What other article? Naruto asked. According to the article, no one has the right to kill the village's weapon, said Kotetsu. So where is he now? Naruto asked. He's already at the city cemetery, Izumo said. At this point Naruto's hands began to shake. Who killed him? Naruto asked. It seems he was killed by the root of the ANBU and Shimuro Danzo, said Izumo. Okay, bye Kotetsu Izumo, said Naruto and went towards the Hokage's residence. Okay, bye Naruto, said the guards at the gates to Konoha. Naruto had almost reached the residence, but then the root of the ANBU blocked his path. Out of the way, said Naruto, and using Amaterasu made himself a corridor straight to the Hokage's office. The Anbu tried to put out the fire, but it wouldn't go out. Meanwhile, Naruto entered the Hokage's office. Who allowed you to kill the third Hokage? Naruto asked in rage. I didn't think you'd survive, but now you can't do anything to me, Danzo said, sitting on a chair. So you set everything up so you could get the Hokage position, said Naruto. Yes, you understood everything correctly, but if you kill me, you will be hunted as a murderer, said Danzo. I don't care what happens to me, but you will answer for the third one, said Naruto and kicked Danzo with all his might. Danzo broke through the wall behind him and flew into the Konoha square. Naruto ran after Danzo. He stood up and began to form seals. Shimura Danzo, nothing will save you from death, Naruto shouted, and two tails appeared on him. You are a demon, and you should not have existed at all, Danzo shouted. Die Danzo, said Naruto. Naruto immediately disappeared from Danzo's sight and the next second appeared next to Danzo, hit him in the stomach, then hit him with both his elbow and knee, causing Danzo to bleed. Naruto jumped back and attacked again, kicking Danzo in the left side of the head, causing Danzo to fly to the side. Naruto began to form seals. Katan Fireball Amaterasu, said Naruto, and a black ball flew out of his mouth. This ball hit Danzo, but he disappeared. Wait, wasn't that a Tsunade? Naruto asked, and Danzo appeared in front of him with his arm exposed where the Sharingans were inserted. So how do you like it? Danzo asked, and one eye on his hand closed. If you are like this, then I will kill you as many times as necessary, said Naruto, and used Amaterasu on Danzo's hand. But then Danzo disappeared and reappeared. Danzo immediately began to form seals. Vacuum bullets, Danzo said, and bullets started flying out of his mouth. Naruto began to dodge, and after that he used the seal. Great Fire Dome, said Naruto, and the battlefield was covered with a fire barrier that did not allow anyone to enter or exit. And now, the Absorption Dome, Naruto said, and chakra began to rapidly drain from Danzo. Fireball, said Danzo, and a ball flew out of his mouth and immediately disappeared. Naruto used the earth element and took iron from the ground and created a katana from it, and immediately cut off Danzo's hand and kicked it into the dome. It burned, but Danzo did not disappear as he did before. What happened? Was I really able to cut off your arm? Naruto said, and immediately attacked Danzo again and cut off his other arm. I didn't have time, said Danzo, and tried to run away from the battlefield. But then Naruto felt that from the side where Danzo was running, someone had broken through the dome and saw that a fireball had flown at Danzo, which had incinerated him. Sasuke stood behind the fire with tears in his eyes, which Naruto saw. His tails disappeared as soon as he saw Sasuke. Naruto decided to remove the dome and ran to Sasuke and hugged him. "Brother, I thought you were dead," said Sasuke. "Never believe a word until you see it, but how did you know it was me who created this dome?" Naruto asked. "I saw this technique in the scroll and remembered that only you and I learned it," Sasuke said. "Good job," said Naruto, and saw that they were surrounded by the root of the Anbu. "Sasuke ready for training?" Naruto asked, and turning him around he saw an Anbu. "You are accused of murdering the 5th Hokage," said someone from the root. "Naruto is the one I should kill out of all of them?" Sasuke asked. "Yes, this is your training for today," said Naruto and threw a katana at Sasuke. Immediately after Sasuke caught the katana, he activated the Sharingan and began to attack the Anbu. A second passed and the heads of all the Anbu fell to the ground, which made Naruto a little dumbfounded. "Sasuke, who trained you while I was gone?" Naruto asked. "Kakashi and Guy had a duel to see who could train me better," said Sasuke. "And who won?" Naruto asked. "They couldn't understand because I used both of their styles in the fight," Sasuke said and smiled. What should I do now? They can either accept me here or they will consider me a criminal," said Naruto. "Brother, let's ask Kakashi to help," said Sasuke. "Who are you going to ask there?" said Kakashi, who appeared next to the brothers. Naruto told Kakashi everything. "So the 3rd Hokage died because of false accusations. Okay, Naruto, I suggest we call the people and explain everything to them," said Kakashi, and they began to call the people. An hour later, all the residents of this city gathered in the Konoha Square. People listened carefully to this man, Kakashi said, and Naruto walked to the edge of the residence so that everyone could see him. "People listened to the story of how you were all led by the nose by Shimura Danzo. On the day when I disappeared, I went on a mission to deliver a letter to one country. When I reached the place of the Battle of Madara and Hashirama, I stopped to look at 2 statues, but then I heard the crack of a stick behind me, and without having time to react, I got hit on the back of the head and fell into the river. After which one fisherman saved me and I spent several days with him, and upon arrival in the Hokage's office, Danzo began to speak in such a way that one could guess that it was he who hit me then and threw me into the river, because of which I killed Shimura Danzo," said Naruto. All the people standing in the square began to whisper among themselves. "People of Konoha, now the question to you is, will we accept Naruto after all this?" Kakashi asked. And all the people shouted yes. "Then Naruto, you become a full-fledged resident of Konoha again," said Kakashi. Naruto was delighted and set himself a new goal of becoming Hokage. "You can all leave," Kakashi said, and the crowd of people began to leave. "Naruto, let's go home," said Sasuke. "Let's go," said Naruto, and went home with Sasuke. Upon arriving home, Naruto immediately went to his room and fell asleep on his bed. Naruto woke up from the doorbell and went to the window that overlooked the main entrance to the door. Sakura was standing there, embarrassed by something. Naruto went to open the door, and passing by Sasuke's room, he saw that he was still sleeping. Naruto opened the door. "Hello, Naruto, I thought Sasuke would open it," said Sakura. "So you need Sasuke, come sit on the sofa, I'll call him now," said Naruto, and let Sakura into the house. Naruto went upstairs to Sasuke's room and entered his room. "Sasuke, Sakura came to you," said Naruto, and went to his room. Naruto went into his room and started to change into his clothes. Today he decided that he would wear black shinobi pants and a black t-shirt with the Uchiha clan symbol, and he also put on the Konoha forehead protector just below the shoulder. Naruto got dressed and started to go down. There was an awkward silence on the first floor. "Sakura, why did you come here if you don't say anything?" Naruto asked and started pouring himself some coffee. "Oh yeah, I came to tell you that our team is expecting a new temporary Hokage," said Sakura. "Thank you, we'll come there later, is that all?" Naruto asked. "Well, yes," said Sakura and went to the exit. Sasuke walked her to the exit, otherwise she might get lost, Naruto said and smiled. "Okay," said Sasuke, and together with Sakura they went to the exit. Meanwhile, Naruto started making sandwiches. When Sasuke returned, there were 2 plates with sandwiches on the table and 2 cups of coffee next to them. Naruto and Sasuke started eating. After 5 minutes, they went to the Hokage. "Sasuke, let's check who can control the fire phoenix right to the Hokage's residence," said Naruto and left the house. "Come on, we need to find out who is stronger," said Sasuke and started making seals, which Naruto started doing too. Naruto and Sasuke summoned fire phoenixes that did not move. "3, 2, 1, start," Naruto said and jumped on his phoenix and with the help of the earth element, made a platform on it and flew towards the residence. Sasuke began to run at great speed and control his phoenix. Naruto saw that he was losing in speed and decided to fly straight when Sasuke ran through the whole crowd of people. As a result, Naruto and Sasuke arrived at the Hokage's residence at the same time. "AAA again, a draw," said Sasuke. "Yeah, I hope one of us wins someday. Okay Sasuke, let's go to the Hokage," Naruto said and launched his phoenix into the air where it exploded. "Let's go," said Sasuke and did the same with his phoenix. Naruto and Sasuke knocked and entered the Hokage's office, where Sakura was already standing. "Kakashi, you are taking part in the masquerade, you are doing great," Naruto said with a smile. "Naruto, I am the temporary Hokage for the duration of the Chunin exam," Kakashi said and sat down on the Hokage chair. "Chunin exam?" Sasuke asked. "Yes, this year there is a Chunin exam, and since I am your teacher I filled out all the forms for you to join," said Kakashi. "Sounds interesting. When will it start?" Naruto asked. "In 2 days. Until then, repeat everything from the knowledge you received at the academy to your strongest attacks," said Kakashi. "Kakashi, I heard that the exam consists of 3 stages," said Sakura. "Yes, stage 1 is a test of your knowledge, stage 2 is defense and attack with the scroll, stage 3 will be a tournament where you can meet each other and fight each other," said Kakashi. Naruto and Sasuke exchanged glances. "Okay, you're free in 2 days at the entrance to the academy, we'll meet there," said Kakashi. Naruto and Sasuke immediately ran home as fast as they could to repeat everything they knew. Either of them wanted to lose. On the way, Naruto ran into a sand shinobi. "Oh, sorry, I didn't notice you," said Naruto. "How could you not notice me? In Konoha, there are only blind people," said Kankuro. "As I understand it, you are a genin from the Sand Village. At the Chunin exam you will apologize for your words," said Naruto. "Yes, I'm so sorry." Kankuro couldn't finish because a pebble flew at him. "Kankuro, shut your mouth, or do you want me to shut it for you?" Gaara said in a threatening voice. Kankuro became quiet. "That's better, and I see you're strong if you decided to threaten Kankuro without knowing his strength. What's your name?" Gaara asked. "Uchiha Naruto, and you?" Naruto asked. "Gaara." "Gaara, maybe we can take a little walk after the exam?" Naruto asked, smiling slightly. Anger could be seen in Gaara's eyes. "Of course," Gaara said and went about his business. He was angry. "After that I want to fight him, and now I'll go home, otherwise Sasuke ran away without me," Naruto thought. 2 days have passed. Naruto and Sasuke walked to the academy. "Just like in the old days, you and I are going to the academy," said Naruto. "Yeah, it's weird that they're holding the first stage there," Sasuke said. "Sasuke, let's see who gets to the academy first," Naruto said and ran forward. Sasuke decided to accept the challenge and ran with Naruto. And again, they reached the same place. "Sasuke, maybe it's fate that we can't defeat each other?" Naruto asked. "If this is fate, then we will go through all 3 stages the same way," said Sasuke. Naruto and Sasuke entered the academy and went to room 307. Naruto and Sasuke went up to the 2nd floor where many genin were standing. "Oh, Sasuke, hi," said Sakura, approaching Sasuke. "Hey guys, what are you standing here for?" Naruto asked, turning to the crowd of genin. "This is room 307, we will be holding the exam here," someone from the crowd said. "What's wrong with auditorium 307 being on the floor above?" Naruto asked, and all the genin started laughing. Only 2 shinobi who were standing at the entrance to some auditorium did not laugh, but were surprised. "Okay Sasuke, Sakura send upstairs," said Naruto. Team 7 went up another floor and entered room 307. "It's kind of empty here," said Sakura. "Kakashi, what are you hiding on the table?" Naruto asked and threw a shuriken there. "Oh Naruto, so you noticed," Kakashi said, standing up and closing the book. "Of course I noticed, give me this book later, I'm just curious what you're reading there," said Naruto. "It's too early for you to read this," Kakashi shouted. Naruto disappeared and appeared next to Kakashi, and after taking the book from him, he disappeared again and appeared at the back of the classroom. "What?" That's all Kakashi could say. Come, heaven means we'll honor you now, Sasuke, defensive formation," said Naruto, and opened the book. Sasuke ran towards Naruto and summoned 4 clones, and they all stood in a stance. "Kakashi, I won't let you get to Naruto," said Sasuke. "What are you doing here?" "Give her back to me," said Kakashi, and ran straight ahead. All the clones began to make identical seals. "Katon, fire bullets," said all the clones, and many bullets flew towards Kakashi. Kakashi started to dodge. 5 minutes passed like this. "I've finished reading, Sasuke, the defensive formation is over," Naruto said, and threw the book at Kakashi. Kakashi caught the book and fell to his knees. "I gave a book to a child to read, what should I do now?" Kakashi said. "Come on, Kakashi, we won't tell anyone, it's true, Sakura," said Naruto, and activated the Sharingan and looked at Sakura. "Yes, of course, Kakashi-sensei, we won't tell anyone," said Sakura. "Okay, I can say one thing, this book is quite interesting, I would even read its other volumes," said Naruto, and put his hand on Kakashi's shoulder. "Okay, promise not to tell anyone," Kakashi said, and Team 7 nodded in response. At this moment, the genins who were standing below seemed to realize that they were standing in the wrong place and began to enter this auditorium. "Dear Genin, today the first stage of the Chunin exam will be held here, and welcome your examiner," Kakashi said, and a man entered the auditorium. "Hello, I'm Ibiki Marino." "So Ibiki, I'll leave you here and I'll go," Kakashi said, and went to the exit. "Then take your seats and I will begin," said Ibiki. Then everything went according to canon until Naruto received the test. So that means I need to do this test," Naruto thought, and started doing it. For Naruto and Sasuke, this test was a piece of cake. Naruto did the test and tore out a piece of paper from the draft that was lying next to him and made an airplane out of it, then tore out another one and made a boat. Ibisu watched Naruto, who was doing all sorts of crap out of boredom. An hour passed and Naruto had 1 regular airplane, 2 tanks, 3 cruisers, and 1 exact copy of the Hokage's residence made on his desk. Sasuke sat and watched what else Naruto would do and quietly laughed. Sakura thought that Naruto was such an idiot that nothing could save him. Ibiki was already starting to get angry, but he started to speak. "So the last 10th question, I warn you, if you can't answer it you will never become a shinobi with your team. And if you leave now you can try again next year, also with your whole team," said Ibiki. After his words, half of the audience left. "So, as I understand it, there is no question 10, you all passed the first stage," said Ibiki. Then everything went according to canon, but when Anko saw what was happening on the desk where Naruto was sitting, she was beside herself with anger. "Listen, is all this too easy for you and you have nothing better to do than to do all this?" Anko asked, who was angry. "Yes, I'm just bored and I didn't find anything else interesting and started doing this," said Naruto. Anko stood there in a stupor, and at that moment everyone in the audience started laughing at Naruto's antics. "I hope you don't come back from the second stage, since the Genin's next stage will be held in the Forest of Death, he won't be late tomorrow," Anko said, and disappeared in a cloud of smoke. Naruto left, leaving his works of art on the desk where he sat. After everyone left, Ibiki went to check if Naruto had written anything, but when he took the piece of paper, he couldn't believe his eyes. After all, he himself had written this test so that it was practically impossible to write, and here was a completely perfect test. After which Ibiki approached the paper residence, and when he realized that this genius also made everything inside so accurately a real copy. After that, Ibiki began to check all the other tests, and saw another test that was completely perfectly solved. Meanwhile, Naruto was already home and cooking dinner for 4 because Kakashi and Sakura decided to come to them and talk. 5 minutes later, Naruto served spaghetti on the table. And everyone started eating Naruto's dish. "Naruto, I didn't know you could cook so well," said Kakashi. "Thank you," said Naruto. "Naruto, by the way, cool residence, I got you at the first stage," said Sasuke. "Residence?" Kakashi asked. "Kakashi-sensei, this Naruto didn't find anything better than making paper crafts," said Sakura. "Naruto!" Kakashi shouted, but he had already run to his room. "Don't be mad, Kakashi," said Sasuke. "Yes, I'm not angry, I just wanted you to make another one, I would put it in the Hokage's office," said Kakashi. Naruto lay down on his bed and began to fall asleep. Naruto woke up and went down to the kitchen. There were dirty plates there. Naruto created a clone and it went to wash the plates, when Naruto himself began to cook pancakes and at the same time watched the kettle that was on the stove. When the clone finished, Naruto dispelled it. After 5 minutes, Sasuke came to the smell of pancakes. "Naruto, what are you cooking here?" Sasuke asked. "Sasuke, go wash up and we'll have breakfast," said Naruto. Sasuke went to wash up, and Naruto put a plate of pancakes on the table and poured coffee into 2 mugs. A minute later, Naruto and Sasuke began to have breakfast. "Naruto, did you understand what Kakashi meant when he said to defend and attack with the scroll?" Sasuke asked. "Most likely, everyone will give us scrolls and we will have to take them from other teams," Naruto suggested. "Naruto, by the way, Kakashi asked me to make him a paper Hokage residence yesterday when you ran away," said Sasuke. "Okay, I'll do it when I get home," said Naruto. 15 minutes passed and Sasuke and Naruto went to the Forest of Death. "Sasuke," said Naruto. "I know what you want to say," Sasuke said and smiled. "Whoever collects more scrolls wins," said Sasuke and Naruto in one voice. After which they both started laughing. By this time they had just reached the Forest of Death where everyone they had seen yesterday was already there. "Sasuke, do you see Sakura?" Naruto asked. "There she is," Sasuke said, and they both walked up to her. "Hello Naruto, Sasuke," said Sakura. "Well, hello, it's even somehow unusual to receive a greeting from you," said Naruto. By this time, Kakashi had come up to support his team again. "So, what are you all here for?" "Naruto, let's go and step aside," Kakashi said and walked away. Naruto followed him, and they went behind a tree. "Naruto, let's make a bet, so to speak, extra motivation. If you and your team return from this forest without a single injury, then I'll give you another top of that book," Kakashi whispered. "Coming," Naruto whispered and smiled. Kakashi went off somewhere again and Naruto walked back to his team. "Naruto, what were you and Kakashi-sensei talking about?" Sakura asked. "Nothing interesting, Sasuke, Sakura, let's not receive any damage, thus we will surprise our teacher," said Naruto smiling. "I think I figured out what you and Kakashi were talking about," said Sasuke. "If you guessed, shut up," said Naruto. Madarashi Anko appeared in the center. "So Genin, listen now, each team will receive 1 scroll, there are 2 of them. The scroll of the earth and the sky. Your task is to find the opposite scroll and come to the center of the forest with 2 scrolls," Enko said and began to examine everyone. After 15 minutes, all teams received a scroll. Team number 7 received a sky scroll. "Naruto, as you assumed in the morning, everything turned out that way," said Sasuke. "I'm surprised myself," Naruto said. Then everything went according to plan, but when Naruto entered the forest he said, "Sasuke, if you get even 1 scratch, I will personally make you eat what you cook," said Naruto, and remembered one moment when Sasuke decided to make something to eat and made such disgusting food that even animals wouldn't eat it. Sasuke became a little afraid of getting hurt after that. "So I guess I'll take command, we'll split into 2 groups, Sasuke will be group 1, I'll be group 2, and Sakura can decide for herself who she'll go with," Naruto said and ran into the thicket of the forest. Naruto immediately started using the Sharingan and searching for opponents. A minute later, Naruto realized that Sakura went with Sasuke. Then Naruto noticed Shikamaru's team and went to them. "Well, hello to all of you, Tell me right away what scroll you have so as not to waste time, said Naruto. We have a scroll of earth, said Shikamaru, and a kunai flew near him. Oh, my plan worked, come on out, said Naruto, and folded the seals and released a fireball in the direction from where the kunai came. And from the trees jumped several shinobi in gas masks. How could I not have guessed that myself, said Shikamaru. Okay, Shikamaru, I suggest the following. You cover me in the battle with them, and I will help you get your scroll, said Naruto. Okay, we agree, said Team Shikamaru. Naruto began to make seals. Choji Ino, let's cover Naruto, said Shikamaru. Shikamaru began to try to catch those shinobi in his trap. Fortunately, there was a shadow everywhere. Choji, using a meatball, began to try to crush them. Naruto looked at all this and laughed a little. Naruto, are you there soon? Ino asked. That's it, the combined technique of life subjugation, said Naruto. The entire forest immediately began to help Naruto fight. The enemies decided to go underground and send clones to fight, but they were trapped. Naruto killed those shinobi underground and a hand with a scroll of earth appeared from the ground. So there is one, we need one more, said Naruto. Naruto, what kind of technique is this? Shikamaru asked. Don't disturb, he said, and with the help of the wind began to look for the scrolls of the earth. A minute later Naruto had a complete picture of all the people with the earth scroll in his head, but then he felt a strange danger. And a strange shinobi appeared in front of Naruto. Hello, and you, who came to die? Well, I will arrange it now, said Naruto, and all the animals nearby began to attack this man. You are strong, Uchiha Naruto, said the shinobi, and began to peel off his skin. You must have been resting a lot, since your skin is peeling off like that, Naruto said and smiled. Okay, you'll come, said the shinobi. Wait, aren't you by any chance Orochimaru, one of the Sannin? Naruto asked. Yes, I am him, said Orochimaru, and summoned a large snake that ate Shikamaru's team. If I were you, I wouldn't feed my snake like that, said Naruto, and subdued Orochimaru's snake. What? How did you do that? Orochimaru asked. Listen, I don't have time for you right now, said Naruto. And hands appeared from the ground that grabbed Orochimaru by the legs and threw him into the trees. The trees began to play Orochimaru's football. So he's there for a long time, and now you snakes spit out those you ate, said Naruto, and the snakes spat out Shikamaru's command. Shikamaru looked into the forest where the trees were kicking Orochimaru. Naruto, do you even have a limit to your strength? Shikamaru asked. Well, I don't know myself, but I have one problem. I just found out that firstly, Orochimaru flew beyond the forest of death and that Sasuke already has 4 earth scrolls, said Naruto. -4, are you hunting them? Ino asked. We have a competition between him, and now be quiet for a bit, said Naruto, and finding 6 people with a scroll of earth attacked them using trees and animals. So, well, snake, for now you will be under my control, said Naruto, and jumped on the snake's head. Get in, said Naruto. Naruto ordered the snake to crawl towards the first scroll. And after 5 minutes Naruto had 7 scrolls of heaven in his hands, when Sasuke could no longer find a new one and he had 6. Stop, really? Said Naruto, and grabbed his head with his hands. Naruto, what's wrong with you? Shikamaru asked. So it turns out that I have a draw with Sasuke again, said Naruto, and took out a scroll of earth and handed it to Shikamaru. Naruto, you won't attack me, will you? Shikamaru asked. Luckily for you, I don't attack those I work with, Naruto said, and ordered the snake to crawl to the center of the forest, and he jumped off and ran back to Sasuke. After 5 minutes Naruto reached Sasuke. Naruto, how many scrolls do you have? Sasuke asked. Guess, and by the way, I suggest leaving 11 scrolls near the place where we will train a little, said Naruto. Come on, Sasuke said. Team number 7 headed towards the center of the forest, but they stopped halfway there. Is Sasuke ready? Naruto asked. Always, said Sasuke. Naruto and Sasuke began to make seals. Great fire dragon technique, said the Uchiha, and 2 dragons flew into the sky. Sasuke, do you want to see something? Naruto asked. Come on, said Sasuke. Amaterasu. said Naruto, and his dragon turned black. Stop, I saw this technique in a scroll recently, said Sasuke. Sakura, meanwhile, stood with her mouth open. Okay, let's get started, said Naruto. Naruto and Sasuke started making seals again. Katanin, said Sasuke. Katan Yang, said Naruto, and the yin and yang sign appeared in the sky and began to be displayed on the ground. Naruto stepped aside with Sasuke. Sakura, get out of there, Naruto shouted, and Sakura ran out of the circle. So now, said Naruto and looked at Sasuke. They both activated the equipment, and such powerful explosions began in that place that the entire team was thrown back several meters. A minute later the explosion stopped. Brother, we got it, said Sasuke looking at Naruto. So now let's put all 11 scrolls in the center of this funnel and run from the court, said Naruto. And he began to throw scrolls into the center of the funnel. Now let's run, said Naruto. Team 7 continued their journey, and after 5 minutes they reached the center of the forest where the building stood. Naruto went in with the others and saw people he already knew. It was Shikamaru's team. But there was no one else. Naruto and Sasuke laid the scrolls on the floor and Kakashi appeared from them. And I was wondering where you went then, so where is my reward? Naruto asked. Kakashi looked around the team and saw only dirt. Okay, you won the bet, so let's go away, said Kakashi, and together with Naruto went behind the column. Kakashi handed over the new volume of Come Paradise. Thanks, I'll read it a little later, I'll read it, said Naruto and went back satisfied. Naruto, why are you so happy? Sakura asked. Nothing, Kakashi just praised me, said Naruto. Yeah, right. Sasuke didn't finish speaking as Naruto covered his mouth with his hand. So Sasuke, don't blab, if you tell anyone, I won't let you read it, Naruto whispered in Sasuke's ear. Sasuke nodded. An hour later, Team Gaara and Team Neji arrived. Neji approached Kakashi and said something to him. So guys, apparently no one else will come, and I want to tell you all that you have passed the second stage, and in a month there will be a third stage. Prepare for it, see you in a month, Kakashi said and disappeared in a cloud of white smoke. Sasuke, let's go home, said Naruto and walked out of the building with Sasuke. Katan technique of controlled phoenix, said Naruto, and from the torches that stood near the entrance the fire began to form a phoenix. Are we going to fly? Sasuke asked. Yes, said Naruto, and using the earth technique created a saddle and together with Sasuke went home. Upon arriving home, Naruto sat down to make a model of the Hokage's residence, and 10 minutes later went to bed. The next morning, Naruto woke up in a strange place where there was water everywhere, and eerie sounds could be heard. Where am I? Okay, whatever it is, I can handle it, Naruto said and walked towards where the sounds were coming from. A minute later, Naruto reached some kind of cage, and from there 2 huge eyes were looking at him. Well, hello Naruto, said someone behind the cage. Hello, who are you? Naruto asked. I am the 9-tailed demon fox, or simply Kyuubi. Nice to meet you, so why am I here? Naruto asked. Aren't you afraid of me? Kyuubi asked. Why should I be afraid of you? In this world, I am only afraid of Uchiha Madara, because I was never able to defeat him, Naruto said and scratched his head. If you are not afraid of me. Naruto jumped on the gate where the seal was and began to tear it off, but then someone pulled his hand away and threw Naruto to the ground. What are you thinking? Someone shouted. Who are you anyway? Naruto asked and got into a fighting stance. I am Minato Namikaze, or simply the 4th Hokage. The 4th Hokage, then, and what are you doing here? Naruto asked. When I sealed the Kyuubi into you, I made it so that if you started to remove the seal, I would immediately appear, said Minato. Minato don't need to worry about me, I will easily win against Kyuubi in battle, said Naruto and removed the seal at great speed. What have you done? Minato shouted. Well, Kyuubi, you can destroy this seal, said Naruto and looked at the place where the seal was. There was another one behind it. With ease, said Kyuubi, and with a blow of his paw broke the gate. Well, Kyuubi, we agreed, said Naruto and activated the Sharingan. What are you, Uchiha? I hate Uchiha, I will kill you, Kyuubi shouted and started to beat Naruto with his tails. Naruto began to form seals and simultaneously dodge the tails. Suiton water bonds, said Naruto, and Kyuubi tied ropes of water. And what do you think this technique will hold me back? Kyuubi asked, but saw Naruto making seals. Rate and lightning devil, said Naruto, and pointed his hand at Kyuubi and released red-violet lightning. Kyuubi opened his mouth and began to create a tailed beast bomb, and when there was only a little bit of lightning left, Kyuubi released the tailed beast bomb, but the lightning passed through the tailed beast bomb, causing the bomb to explode. Impossible! Kyuubi shouted, and lightning struck him. Immediately, Kyuubi began to convulse and fell to the ground. Naruto went to check if Kyuubi was alive, but when he approached a meter to him, he heard snoring. Are you asleep? Naruto shouted and kicked Kyuubi in the nose. AAA, that hurts. Kyuubi shouted. We made a bet, where is my winnings? Naruto asked. Yes, now you can use my chakra, and also don't call me Kyuubi anymore, it irritates me. What should we call it then? Naruto asked. Call me Kurama. Listen, Minato, you're going to stand there with your mouth open. Minato, seeing all this, was slightly stunned, and when Kurama addressed him, Minato simply disappeared. So now I have a question, where is the exit here? Naruto asked, and immediately found himself on his bed. Naruto, if you want, you can always talk to me, just contact me and I will answer you. Kurama's voice sounded in his head. Naruto decided to take a day off today, and after preparing breakfast for Sasuke, he went outside. Kurama, do you know what to do? Naruto asked. Go eat first. Kurama's voice came from his head. Naruto ran to Ichiraka, and after eating there, he went to wander further. I'll go see Kakashi, shadow clone technique, said Naruto, and his clone appeared next to him. So go home and bring the paper residence, Hokage, said Naruto, and his clone ran home. Naruto, don't you want to see what you can do now that you've received my power? Kurama's voice echoed in his head. Naruto concentrated, and his body was covered in orange chakra. Well, on the plus side, I feel like I've become a little stronger, said Naruto. Naruto ran towards the residence, but everything happened in such a way that he himself did not understand how he ended up next to it in a second. Kurama, what was that? Naruto asked. This is my power. You were already pretty fast, and now you can say that you teleport in space. Kurama answered in Naruto's head. Not bad, said Naruto, and dispelled Kurama's veil. Naruto stood up and entered the Hokage's office. Hello Kakashi, I'll sit here with you for a bit, you don't mind, right? Naruto asked and sat down on the sofa. Of course, sit down, I thought you were going to train today, said Kakashi. I decided to rest today, Kakashi, do you know where I can relax? Naruto asked. We recently opened hot springs here, go there, said Kakashi. And then Naruto's clone entered the office. Is this what I think it is? Kakashi asked. Yes, I leave it to you, and I added one element, now you can open it and see what is inside. Okay Kakashi, I'll go to the springs, said Naruto, and he was covered by Kurama's cloak and he disappeared. What was that? I have to ask that next time, said Kakashi. Naruto was already standing near the springs, and after changing he went into the men's spring. Naruto sat down in the spring and started reading a book. 15 minutes passed like this. I've finished reading it all, I'll have to get another volume from Kakashi, said a pleased Naruto. Then he saw that some man was standing near the wall and looking through the crack. Listen, what are you doing here? Naruto asked, appearing next to the man. Quiet, see for yourself, the man whispered. Naruto looked through the cracks and saw naked girls there. Yes, of course, you can watch this forever, but it's not decent, said Naruto, looking through the crack. Don't worry, the main thing is that they don't catch us. By the way, my name is Jiraiya. And I'm Naruto. Naruto and Jiraiya spent another 30 minutes spying on the girls. Wait, I just remembered something, were you the one who wrote the book? Come Paradise, Naruto asked. Yes, it's me, said Jiraiya. Do you by any chance have volume 3? I've read volume 2 and I'm so interested in finding out the continuation, said Naruto. I'm just finishing it now, said Jiraiya, and moved away from the wall. Naruto also moved away from the wall. Listen Naruto, let's go eat something, said Jiraiya. Come on, I'm always hungry. said Naruto. Jiraiya and Naruto went to Ichiraku. Oh, Naruto, come in again as usual? Tsuchi asked. Yes, please, and this person too, said Naruto and sat down on the chair. Naruto, don't you want to become my student? Jiraiya asked. To learn from you. I remember how yesterday I also defeated one Sannin, said Naruto, and remembered how the trees played football Orochimaru. Who? Jiraiya asked. Yeah, it seems like Orochimaru caught the red card and flew out of bounds, Naruto said and smiled. Were they playing football? Jiraiya asked. Yeah, I was taking the second stage of the Chunin exam and then I started playing football for them, said Naruto. Then Tsuchi gave Jiraiya and Naruto 2 servings of ramen each. Enjoy your meal, said Naruto and started eating. Jiraiya also started eating, and the thought was spinning in his head. Either this boy is incredibly strong, or he is a great liar. After 15 minutes, they finished their portions. Okay, Jiraiya, I'm going to my place to rest. Tomorrow we'll meet at the lake near the Uchiha quarter, said Naruto and disappeared. Naruto was already home and decided to test one technique. Naruto went out into the yard and tried to make a tree appear from the ground, because he had recently seen one Umbu use it during his training. After 15 minutes, Naruto succeeded. Yes, it worked, and now I want to do it, said Naruto and went to his room. Naruto used the power he had received and looked at the book that was lying on his shelf and began to lift it. Yes, as I thought, if you know the element of wood, you can use objects made of wood, said Naruto. Naruto began to create various things from paper, from airplanes to explosive seals. In this way, Naruto not only learned to use Mokutan, but also improved his chakra control. Okay, I'm tired, I'll go to bed or something, said Naruto, whose room was completely covered in explosive seals. Naruto fell asleep. But before that, he made sure that if someone came in, the seals wouldn't activate. Naruto woke up and started to remove the explosive seals. After that, he went downstairs and went to the kitchen. Naruto prepared 3 bento, and leaving 1 bento, he left the house. Naruto went towards the lake where he was supposed to meet Jiraiya. Naruto was already approaching the lake and Jiraiya saw him. So Naruto, is he ready for training? Jiraiya asked. Of course, said Naruto. A few weeks passed and tomorrow was the 3rd stage of the Chunin exam. During this time Naruto trained and occasionally went to the baths. Naruto was now sitting where the exam would be held tomorrow, and next to him was Jiraiya. Naruto, I enjoyed teaching you, but unfortunately I can't teach you anything anymore, you've surpassed me, said Jiraiya. Then Guy approached Naruto. Oh Naruto, hello, we need someone to test the stadium for strength, said Guy. Do I need to destroy it? Naruto asked. No, just show the power of youth together with Jiraiya, said Guy and smiled. Jiraiya, do you understand what he's saying? Naruto asked. He wants you and me to fight, said Jiraiya. And so Jiraiya would have immediately said, let's have one last sparring match, said Naruto and jumped down. Jiraiya also jumped down. Well, Naruto is ready, just don't give in to me, said Jiraiya and stood in a stance. Naruto smiled and immediately summoned 5 clones that were not ordinary. Naruto, when he was at home, trained this technique. He combined the cover of Kurama and Amaterasu, so the enemy would only have to dodge or hit from afar. But because of the cover of Kurama, the speed increased many times and Naruto could reduce the distance in a second. He called it the cover of night. All the clones received the cover of night. Jiraiya had never seen this technique, but instinctively felt that it was better not to fight in taijutsu. Jiraiya began to run away from the clones, but he did not do it well. Jiraiya, why can't you handle a bunch of clones? Let's get serious, said Naruto. Jiraiya stopped and his hair made a sphere and it started spinning. One of the clones attacked the sphere and it was covered in black fire. Naruto, don't you think you went a little overboard? A voice came from Naruto's head. He's not a Sannin, he can get out of it, said Naruto. Then suddenly Jiraiya's hair turned into hands that grabbed all the clones and immediately destroyed them. Well, I'll have to lose my hair, said Jiraiya and took a kunai out of his bag and cut off some of the hair that was burning. Okay, now I'll show you my power, said Naruto and used the night shroud. Jiraiya realized that he would not be fighting clones now, and began to prepare himself for battle. But then Naruto appeared in front of Jiraiya and hit him with such force that a little more, and he could have lost his life. Jiraiya flew into the wall of the stadium from the blow, and it was completely covered with cracks. As soon as Jiraiya moved away from the blow, Naruto appeared behind him and hit him in the back of the head, but this time Jiraiya was able to protect himself with his hair, and it did not hurt so much. And when Jiraiya stopped, about 15 clones appeared around him, which completely blocked his chances of escape. Battle formation of clones, absolute attack, said Naruto, and all the clones had 2 Raisengans. Fear could be read on Jiraiya's face, because he saw Naruto use this technique once on 3 opponents who tried to escape in different directions and were almost killed. I give up, Jiraiya shouted. Naruto concentrated and dispelled the clones. Jiraiya, what's wrong? Couldn't you avoid my attack? Naruto asked. I would have inevitably lost after this attack, Naruto. You are too strong for me, said Jiraiya. I already started thinking about how I'm going to attack you next, said Naruto. And how would you have avoided it yourself? Jiraiya asked. He probably used Amaterasu and destroyed everyone, and if without this technique, he used Suiton and Raiton and destroyed everyone through water, said Naruto. And how do you see such exits in such an inevitable situation? Said Jiraiya. The only thing I hope for is that I can defeat my brother at least tomorrow, said Naruto. Are you talking about Sasuke? Jiraiya asked. Well, not about Itachi. For me he is just dust that needs to be wiped off someday, said Naruto. Listen, Naruto, after you pass the exam I will take you as my assistant. I just need a strong person for one thing, said Jiraiya. You managed to intrigue me, said Naruto. Then Guy came down to them. That's what I call the power of youth, to attack your opponent with just one blow and almost break the entire stadium, said Guy. Naruto looked at Guy like he was crazy. Guy, I'll go, and you guys deal with the stadium here, Naruto said and disappeared. Naruto decided to go check on Kakashi. And a few seconds later he was already in his office. Hey Naruto, how's training going? Kakashi asked. Everything is very bad, said Naruto. I knew it, said Kakashi. Everything is bad. I was able to surpass Jiraiya in strength in a month and now I have nothing more to learn, said Naruto. Yes, wait, you surpassed Jiraiya in strength? Kakashi asked with shock in his eyes. Well, yeah, what's surprising about that? Naruto asked. Listen, can Jiraiya confirm this? Kakashi asked. Yes, said Naruto. If that's true, then you should immediately give up the title of Jounin, said Kakashi. It would be nice, of course, but I want to go to my dream, go step by step, and not jump over them, said Naruto and looked at the paper residence. I see, Naruto, if you have nothing better to do, don't you want to help me with this paper? Kakashi said and took out a paper from the stack and handed it to Naruto. Make a model or a drawing of what you see Konoha as in the future. It is important that we build the future Konoha according to this model. Read Naruto. Naruto, you are an expert in models, so help me with this, said Kakashi. And after these words Naruto began to make a model of Konoha, listening attentively to what Kakashi was telling him, because it was his task. After 15 minutes Naruto got tired of making the model with his hands and began to continue making the model using the element of wood, from which Kakashi was surprised. Naruto, is this really the first Hokage's technique, Mokuton? Kakashi asked. First Hokage, I thought everyone knew how to use it, said Naruto. No, Naruto, it is a very rare genome, and it can only manifest in the Senju clan, said Kakashi. Rare genome, then? Said Naruto. Naruto, perhaps the great power of the Sage of the Six Paths is dormant in your eyes, said Kakashi. Oh, I know him, I read about him in one legend, but when I read that he could use absolutely all techniques, I stopped reading because it seemed to me that it was not true, said Naruto. Naruto, legends don't lie and I want to check something, try to copy this technique, said Kakashi. Naruto activated his Sharingan and looked at Kakashi. Kakashi lifted his eye protector. Kamui, said Kakashi looking at the scissors that Naruto used, and they disappeared. What is this technique? Naruto asked. This is Kamui, this ability that I was given when I received this eye, and now Naruto, try to repeat it, said Kakashi. Naruto decided to focus on the box cutter that was lying on the table. Kamui, said Naruto, and the knife disappeared. I was right, Naruto, you have the pure blood of the Sage of the Six Paths running through your veins, said Kakashi. And in what sense is it clean? Naruto asked. Your blood contains DNA that has not been contaminated by other clans, said Kakashi. Okay, Kakashi, let's continue making the model, said Naruto. Naruto and Kakashi sat until the night and finally finished the model of Konoha. Finally, said Naruto. Yes, we did, but I didn't think that this model would take up almost all the available space, said Kakashi. And he saw that Naruto was already asleep, covered him with a blanket, and went home. Naruto woke up in the Hokage's office and looked at the time and realized that he had to be at the stadium in 5 minutes. But Naruto was in no hurry, because with his speed he would get there in a second. Naruto covered himself with a shadow cover and they ran home. A few seconds later he was already in his kitchen and started drinking coffee. It looks like Sasuke is already at the stadium, so there's no need to cook, said Naruto. After 4 minutes Naruto drank his coffee. Naruto ran to the stadium and a second later he was already there. Oh Naruto, you came? I thought you were already gone, you weren't home, said Sasuke. Yes, I passed out in the Hokage's office, said Naruto. At that moment, everyone else who was standing nearby looked at Naruto strangely. Naruto, what were you doing in the Hokage's office? Sakura asked. Yes, I helped Kakashi with one paper, said Naruto. And then Guy appeared in front of the genin who were standing in one line, and not only the genin themselves, but also the spectators began to look at him. Welcome people of Konoha and other countries. Today we are holding the 3rd stage of the Chunin exam and the judge of all the fights will be me, the great green beast of Konoha, Might Guy. And now I will tell you who will fight first. The first fight will be between Uchiha Sasuke and Hyuga Neji, said Guy. Naruto and the others went up to the platform where they would watch the fight, and only Sasuke and Neji remained in the center of the stadium. Naruto stood near the railing and began to watch Sasuke's fight carefully. Uchiha Sasuke, I've been interested in you for a long time, let's check how good you are in a fight, said Neji and stood in a stance. Sorry Neji, I'm not interested in you, said Sasuke and activated the Sharingan. So if everyone is ready, you can begin, said Guy. And then Sasuke started making seals. Neji started closing the distance. Katan ash mist, said Sasuke, and the battlefield was covered in ash, because of which no one could see what was happening. Neji began to see dimly. Even using the Byakugan he only saw that there was chakra in the ashes that did not allow Sasuke to be detected. And then Neji gets a kick to the jaw from which he flies back several meters. Neji began to use 8 trigrams heavenly rotation to disperse the ashes and he succeeded, but as soon as the ashes disappeared he saw that a fireball was flying at him. Neji barely dodged, but then immediately gets another blow to the head and flies back several meters and loses consciousness. The fight is over, Uchiha Sasuke has won, said Guy. Sasuke approached Neji. You are too weak for me, let's repeat this fight when you become much stronger than you are now, said Sasuke, realizing that Neji was unconscious and he had no reason to say this. I lost, but I will fight you again, Neji whispered. Next fight, Uchiha Naruto vs Gaara, please come out, said Guy. Naruto jumped onto the field, and Gaara disintegrated and appeared next to Guy. Naruto, do you understand what this means? If you win now, we will meet in the next round, Sasuke said and went to the stands. Neji was carried on a stretcher to the medical center. Let's start, Guy said. No Gaara, that you are standing here is entirely my merit, said Naruto and smiled. Naruto immediately covered the cloak of shadow and he began to attack Gaara at great speed. Gaara quickly realized that his defense was not coping and raised his hands and began to control the sand. But then Naruto hits Gaara's left hand and breaks it, from which Gaara screamed in pain and jumped back and began to transform into Shikaku. Naruto is also a Jinchuriki like you. Kurama's voice came from Naruto's head. Got it, I'll hit him more gently, said Naruto, and his face was covered with a sinister smile. Naruto began to make seals. You made me angry, boy, nothing can save you, Gaara said in Shikaku's voice. Mokutan wood chains, said Naruto, and from the ground where Gaara stood wooden chains appeared. Do you really think that you can stop me with this? Said Shikaku, who had fully transformed but not yet reached his full height. Kamui, said Naruto, and all of Gaara's sand was absorbed by this technique. Naruto attacked Gaara and kicked Gaara in the head. He flew back several meters and flew to the wall, piercing it right through. Gaara, did you really give up so easily? Said Naruto, and saw that something strange had started in the stands where the Hokage was sitting with the Kazekage. Naruto, we have problems. The Hokage attacked the Kazekage. Guy shouted. Yes, I see and even know who is hiding behind the mask of the Kazekage, said Naruto. And who? Guy asked. Soccer ball, said Naruto, and disappeared. Naruto appeared next to Orochimaru, who had already managed to remove his Kazekage guise. Oh Naruto, you are just in time, your death will be waiting for you here, said Orochimaru, and 4 coffins began to appear in front of him, and Hashirama, Tobirama, Hiruzen and Danzo came out of them. Interesting technique, but you made one mistake. You let my eyes see this technique, said Naruto, and 4 clones appeared next to him. Each clone took one target and attacked it using the shadow cover. Kakashi, deal with those people who want to put up a barrier, and I'll deal with Orochimaru, said Naruto. Kakashi went off to fight. So, how far did Orochimaru fly last time? Naruto asked. You will answer for this, said Orochimaru. Naruto snapped his fingers and the clones immediately killed their opponents. What? Orochimaru shouted. Surrender to Orochimaru, they will not rise again, said Naruto. This technique is impossible to destroy, they will soon be reborn, said Orochimaru, and saw that those he summoned were covered in black flames. You see, this flame destroys everything, and you want to continue the fight after that? Naruto asked. Here Orochimaru began to form seals and using the element of fire released a fireball. To which Naruto yawned. Amaterasu, said Naruto, and the fireball was covered in black flames which destroyed it. This can't be, Orochimaru shouted. Okay, you're boring me, said Naruto. Naruto began to make seals. Rate and Lightning Devil, said Naruto, and raised his hand, and red-violet lightning flew out of it. This lightning hit Orochimaru, causing him to convulse, and within 5 seconds his body disintegrated into ashes. Well, there's one less Sannin in this world. Kakashi, I'm done. Do you need help? Naruto asked. This kid killed Orochimaru, Jirobo shouted, and started running away because he was the last one left. Not so fast, Kakashi said, and slammed the seals and used Raikiri and hit Jirobo and killed him. But then Kimimaro appeared behind Naruto and stabbed him right in the heart with his bone. Naruto! Shouted Sasuke, who ran to help Naruto. But Naruto just started laughing. I don't know what kind of technique this is, but it saved me, Naruto said, and turned 180 degrees. That after this you are still alive, said Kimimaro, and stuck another bone into Naruto's head. Naruto kicked Kimimaro, causing him to fly back. Naruto began to take out the bones that were stuck in him, and where the holes should have been, there was nothing. Naruto, are you okay? Kakashi asked. It's fine, wait a minute, Naruto said, and ran at Kimimaro holding his own bones in his hands. Naruto threw bones at Kimimaro's feet, causing him to fall in pain. Then Naruto began to fold seals, and using Mokutan, 2 trees sprouted in Kimimaro's hands. Sasuke, I've long wanted to see how strong that technique is. I'm sure you are too, said Naruto. The one we made in the Forest of Death? Sasuke asked, to which Naruto nodded, and they both began to make seals. Yin, said Naruto. Yen, said Sasuke. And a yin and yang pattern began to appear near Kimimaro, just like in the sky. Naruto and Sasuke both activated this technique, and explosions began to hit Kimimaro's body. Mokutan wood shield, said Naruto, and shields appeared near everyone who was standing nearby, preventing them from falling from the explosions. A minute later, when all the explosions stopped and Naruto came out of his shelter, he saw that in the place where Kimimaro's body was, there was nothing left, and only a crater that destroyed the place where the technique was carried out. Sasuke, as I thought, after this technique, nothing remains of the enemy, said Naruto. That was to be expected, Sasuke said. Naruto, Sasuke, what was that technique and where did you learn it? Kakashi asked. This is the yin and yang technique, we invented it ourselves, Sasuke said. Listen Naruto, Sasuke, don't you want to become Jounin right away? Kakashi asked. If my brother agrees then so will I, said Naruto. We agree if after this we will be given missions of a higher level, said Sasuke. Well then Naruto, Sasuke, from tomorrow you will become Jounin and I asked you to come to my office tomorrow morning, said Kakashi. Naruto, let's go home, maybe we'll eat something, said Naruto. Let's go, said Sasuke. Then let's see who gets home faster, Naruto said and smiled. Come on, Sasuke said and ran home at great speed. And a minute later he was already at home. And when he entered the house he saw Naruto already standing in an apron and cooking something. Sasuke, I've been waiting for you for so long, what took you so long? A black cat ran across my path, Naruto asked with a smile. How did you get home so quickly? Sasuke asked. Secret, said Naruto and started laughing. At which Sasuke got a little angry. Okay Sasuke, come in and sit at the table, said Naruto. Sasuke sat down at the table and Naruto put rice with meat on the table. But then Naruto felt sick and fell to the floor. Sasuke immediately got up from the table and went to Naruto. Naruto, what's wrong with you? Sasuke asked. I don't know myself, said Naruto. Sasuke touched Naruto's forehead and immediately removed his hand. Naruto, you have a fever, we need to take you to the hospital, said Sasuke and taking Naruto on his back carried him to the hospital. Meanwhile, Naruto had already lost consciousness. Naruto woke up in the hospital and began to look around the room. Sasuke was sleeping on the chair next to him, and he laid his head on the bed where Naruto was lying. Kurama, what happened yesterday when I came home? Naruto asked. When you came home and cooked dinner for yourself and Sasuke, you fell to the floor and lost consciousness. According to the doctors, another minute and you would have died. You had a very high temperature. The doctors also said that it was possible because of the shadow cover, said Kurama. It turns out that every time I use the shadow cover, there is a chance that I can die, said Naruto. Most likely, if you weren't a Jinchuriki, you would have died already, said Kurama. Well, thanks Kurama, but I like the speed I get when I use the night shroud, so I will look for ways to solve this problem, said Naruto. Naruto, who are you talking to? Sasuke asked, yawning. You imagined it, thank you, said Naruto. Thank you for what? Sasuke asked. Well, for carrying me to the hospital yesterday, said Naruto. Well, in my place, everyone would have done the same, said Sasuke. Do you know if I can get out of court? Naruto asked. There was a knock on the door. Come in, said Naruto, and Jiraiya entered the room. As soon as I found out that something was wrong with you, I came right away, said Jiraiya. Well, I'm feeling better now. Could you go ask the doctors when I can leave? Naruto asked. Jiraiya nodded and went to ask the doctors. Sasuke, I'll most likely leave Konoha soon, said Naruto. You will leave, but why? Sasuke asked. I'll be helping Jiraiya complete his mission for a while, said Naruto. Do you know what the task is? Sasuke asked. No, and that's why I want to tell you something important. While I'm gone, go to the place of the battle between Hashirama and Madara and go downstream. There you will see a house, knock on it, and ask the owner of this house to become your student, said Naruto. I understand, when I have time I will go to him, said Sasuke. Sasuke, know one thing, if you are rude to this man, even I won't be able to save you, said Naruto. Apparently he is a very strong person, that even you are afraid of him. What is his name? Sasuke asked. His name will remain a mystery to you, said Naruto. Then Jiraiya enters the room. Naruto, the doctors said you can go free, said Jiraiya. Wait for me outside, okay, said Naruto looking at Jiraiya. Jiraiya left the room and Naruto began to change clothes, and after changing Naruto said to Sasuke, Okay Sasuke, bye, hope to see you soon. said Naruto and hugged Sasuke. Goodbye, Naruto, said Sasuke. Naruto was covered by Kurama's chakra and he disappeared. Naruto and Jiraiya went to Kakashi. After 5 minutes of walking, they reached the Hokage's office and entered it. Are you really Jiraiya, the author of my favorite book? Kakashi said happily. I didn't think I was so popular. Look, Naruto, you'll become like me and you'll be respected, said Jiraiya and laughed. Yeah, what's more, Kakashi, we came to tell you that we're leaving Konoha and going on a mission. Wait, what's our mission? Naruto asked. Spying on a new organization called Akatsuki, said Jiraiya. I understood everything. Well, what else can I say? I wish you not to reveal yourself, said Kakashi. Jiraiya and Naruto left the office and headed towards the gates of Konoha. After 15 minutes, they reached them. Jiraiya, so which way should we go? Naruto asked. First we will travel and gather information, said Jiraiya. I see, said Naruto and walked forward. But then Kakashi ran up to the gates of Konoha and Naruto heard. Stop, Naruto, I have a task for you, Kakashi shouted. Naruto turned around and ran towards Kakashi. Which one? Naruto asked. Since I am the temporary Hokage and the council has decided that one of the legendary Sannin Tsunade should take the post of Hokage, your task is to find her and make sure that she cannot refuse the title of Hokage, said Kakashi. Can I use anything I want? Naruto asked and smiled. Yes, you can use whatever you think is necessary, and I'll give you a hint. She likes games for money, that's why, said Kakashi. I have to look for her in the cities where they play for money. To put it simply, okay, I'll take on this task, said Naruto and ran to catch up with Jiraiya. Naruto was able to catch up with Jiraiya. You could at least wait, said Naruto. Why would you still catch up with me quickly, even if I ran at full speed? Said Jiraiya. Naruto and Jiraiya went to the nearest city where there were gambling games. And after 4 hours they reached one of them. Okay, Jiraiya, I'll go on my mission, and you gather information for now, said Naruto and went to look for Tsunade. Naruto went around 5 casinos and in each one they told him that Tsunade owed them around some, but everyone answered the main question. We haven't seen her for 2 weeks. From which Naruto assumed that she was in another city and went to look for Jiraiya now, who was not so hard to find. Jiraiya was sitting at the hot springs and spying on the girls. Aren't you tired of it? Naruto asked. No, and you, what, don't you want to do this anymore? Jiraiya asked. What's the point? You can't touch it, and anyway, we're here on a mission. Did you find out the information? Naruto asked. That can be arranged, said Jiraiya and started to smile. Did you even hear me? Did you find out about Akatsuki? Naruto asked. But Jiraiya did nothing but smile and chuckle maliciously. Well, if you don't answer, I'll have to do it, Naruto said and sent Jiraiya flying with his fist. From which he flew to the next side of the springs where the girls were sitting and screams began to be heard from there. But Naruto was not embarrassed, he was angry that he was ignored twice. Naruto broke the fence and went straight to Jiraiya. As soon as he saw Naruto's face, he began to pray to all the gods and ran away. But Naruto went into Kurama's cover and began to strike Jiraiya. First, he hit his legs, from which Jiraiya fell, and then he began to hit his stomach. Naruto, I got it. I won't ignore you anymore, just stop hitting me, Jiraiya whispered because of the pain he couldn't speak normally. Exactly, said Naruto. Yes, I promise, said Jiraiya. Then I cancel the genjutsu, said Naruto. And Jiraiya found himself in the place where he stood before. So it was just genjutsu, said Jiraiya. Yes, but if you ignore me again, believe me, you will be in trouble, said Naruto. Okay, I won't do that again, said Jiraiya. So, what information do you have? Naruto asked. Everyone says they haven't even heard of this organization, said Jiraiya. Well then, let's spend the night here, and tomorrow we'll go to the next city, Naruto said and climbed onto the roof of the nearest house. Jiraiya stood up next. Naruto, are you going to sleep here? Jiraiya asked. Well, I don't want to spend money on hotels and everything else, and if you want, go to the hotel, Naruto said and sat down near the pipe from where the smoke was coming. Okay, then I'll go to the hotel, good night, said Jiraiya, and descended from the roof and went to the nearest hotel. Naruto lay down on the roof and began to look at the starry sky. Then Naruto had an interesting idea. Kurama, can you tell me if I just use Shadow Cloak without using techniques or anything else I'll be okay? Naruto asked. Yes. A voice came from Naruto's head. Naruto covered the cover of the shadow and he decided to increase the heat emitted by the fire a little, because initially it did not give any effect, and now we can say that Naruto is wearing a jacket and he will not freeze sleeping in the open air. After 5 minutes Naruto fell asleep. Naruto woke up on the roof and decided to go find Jiraiya, and remembering which side he went to look for him in all the hotels that were in that direction, and in the third hotel, he found out that Jiraiya was in room 7. Naruto went to that room and knocked on it. There was no answer. Maybe something happened to him, Naruto thought, and kicked the door down. But then Naruto saw that Jiraiya was lying on the bed covered with half-naked girls, and next to them were several bottles of sake. Listen, old man, get up, come on, Naruto shouted. It's already morning, Naruto, don't get worked up, drink some sake and join us, said Jiraiya in a half-asleep voice. Maybe a dose of genjutsu will wake you up, said Naruto. No need, I'm getting up already, said Jiraiya, abruptly getting up from the bed. I'm waiting for you at the exit of this city, said Naruto, and disappeared. Naruto had been standing for 15 minutes and waiting for Jiraiya to come, during which time Naruto found out where the next city like this one was. So Naruto, are we heading out? Jiraiya asked, appearing out of nowhere. Yes, we're going that way, said Naruto, and went where his finger pointed. Naruto and Jiraiya set off and reached the city after 4 hours. Jiraiya, we do the same thing. You are looking for information about Akatsuki, and I am looking for Tsunade, said Naruto. Naruto, this is all interesting, of course, but right now I see one of the Akatsuki, said Jiraiya. Naruto started to turn around, but Jiraiya stopped him with his hand. What are we going to do with him? Naruto asked. We'll follow up and eliminate it if possible, said Jiraiya. Why can't we eliminate him right away? Naruto asked. Think about it for now, and I'll start surveillance, Jiraiya said, and jumped onto the roof of one of the buildings. Okay, I'll go find out some info about Tsunade, Naruto thought, and went to the nearest casino. Naruto walked into the casino and went straight to the cashier. Hello, if you want to win a big jackpot, we just opened a new machine today, said the cashier. Hello, I need information about Tsunade. Of course, everything is paid for, said Naruto, and put his palm with money on the table. I don't know why you need her, but I heard she's in town, said the cashier. Maybe Tsunade will come to this casino today. We need to watch the entrance, thank you, said Naruto, and went to the exit. As soon as Naruto left, he went to look for a place where he would not be noticed, and it would be easy for him to watch the entrance, and after a minute he found the perfect option. He sat down on the other side of the street. There was a snack bar there, and you could watch the entrance. Naruto took coffee and a bun from the snack bar and sat down on the street and began to watch the entrance. So the most boring 4 hours of his life passed. Naruto was almost asleep sitting up, when he saw Jiraiya sneaking along the roof. Maybe there's an Akatsuki member nearby, and why didn't I know what they look like, I thought. Naruto thought and deliberately dropped the spoon, which made a lot of noise. Jiraiya saw Naruto, but also saw that Naruto had his Sharingan active. Jiraiya saw that Naruto started to form seals and used a fireball that flew towards him, and when there were 2 meters left it began to evaporate, and the steam began to form words. Point your finger at Akatsuki. The words hung in the air for a second, and then disappeared. Jiraiya noticed that he was under genjutsu because all the people were not moving, but as soon as he pointed his finger at the Akatsuki member, the people began to move. Naruto looked at the Akatsuki member, and realized what they looked like. After 5 seconds, the Akatsuki member entered the casino from where Naruto had just left, and a minute later Tsunade entered there too. Jackpot, said Naruto, and went to the casino. Naruto walked into the casino and said loudly, So first of all I need Tsunade, and secondly you, said Naruto, pointing at the Akatsuki member. I don't understand why I need you, Tsunade said. But then Naruto noticed that the Akatsuki member was gone. Naruto used Kurama's cloak and grabbed Tsunade, literally moving to Jiraiya. Wait and cool for a while, Naruto said and